Hello again. I've been following the trial of a fellow who also runs a YouTube channel and is currently appearing in Crown Court charged with harassment. Now, I have no idea at all if he is guilty of the offences with which he is charged, but I want to talk instead about the principle of the matter, which is essentially that if you make a lot of personal remarks about somebody and say things about them which might not be true, then the police can come and arrest you. This is all a fairly recent development, at least in this country. Traditionally, those who felt that somebody was telling lies about them or saying or writing things about them which might lower them in the estimation of right thinking citizens had to resort to a civil remedy. That is to say, they would need to sue the person for defamation, slander, or libel. These days, though, we have laws relating to harassment as well as hate crimes. This means that what was once a question of civil law has now moved into the realm of criminal law, and you can actually end up in prison if you upset somebody badly enough by what you say or write. It's not necessary to threaten the other person or indeed go anywhere near them. You don't even have to contact him or her directly. It is enough if you talk about the person in the wrong way to others on the internet. This is a very strange state of affairs. Thinking personally now, some people comment here and say that I am old, which is quite true, and express the hope that I will die soon. People have taken the trouble to send me emails expressing these sentiments. Should I be distressed about this? I don't think so. I show my wife anything especially outrageous and we have a laugh about it. Should it be something to involve the police? Well, of course not. What about making fun of other people? Mocking them, if you like. This can be unpleasant, especially if it centres around the fact of the person's ethnicity or because the individual is gay or has changed sex or something. Only an unpleasant person would do such a thing, but again, should it really be a police matter? In a court case which many of us are following, it is alleged that the defendant made some pretty awful remarks about somebody who once presented as male and now presents as female. If true, this is really not a kind thing to do. So, unkind, certainly. Criminal. We have got into the habit of using various words like transphobia, and some of us even start to believe that this is actually a thing and can be a hate crime. Mocking somebody for having themselves castrated or wearing clothes more commonly seen being worn by members of the opposite sex might well be ill mannered, and I can't imagine behaving in that way to anybody myself. But should it really be a crime? Is transphobia really a thing which the police should spend time investigating? I can mock somebody for having piercings or tattoos or for wearing what I think are ridiculous clothes, and I'll generally be on safe ground. Mock somebody for having surgery on their genitals and wearing women's clothes, though, and my mockery becomes a crime. Most of us have at some time or another been made fun of, and it can be upsetting. Nobody would dispute that. Few of us have managed to go through life without somebody telling lies about us and saying untruthful things about what we are supposed to have done. Again, not very nice, but there you are, it happens. What I am finding disturbing, though, is that this common experience of being jeered at or ridiculed is now something which can end up with a person in the dock and facing imprisonment. I think that the person who's on trial at the moment for supposedly upsetting people like this is probably not a very agreeable individual. I certainly don't care for some of what I've heard from him. But then again, I'm sure people say precisely the same about me. Being unkind or unpleasant or even a bully are not really something which should occupy the courts. It's the kind of stuff which either adults can sort out between themselves or if sufficiently serious, they can take legal action themselves against somebody whom they see as overstepping the mark. I believe that I should have the legal right to make jokes about people and laugh at their characteristics, which I find amusing. It's not a right I'm likely to exercise, but to be aware that the police might start listening to what I say or watching my videos because they have it in mind to arrest me is likely to have a chilling effect upon free speech. Free speech means being able to offend or upset other people and to say things with which a lot of people are likely to violently disagree, or even to say things which are completely false. That's why I do not moderate or delete comments on this channel. It's important to me. Perhaps we all need to learn to accept a little abuse now and then and take it in our stride.